Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Hope everyone's doing well, and in this video we're going to be talking about one of the great, the rock and roll outlaw, Ian Kilminster, also known as Lemmy. Good old Lemmy. You know, just if they put rock and roll, the words rock and roll in the English dictionary, it should have a picture of Lemmy. He was, is, and always will be rock and fucking roll. Just fucking awesome. You know, he was part of two of the most influential bands of all time. Hawkwind pretty much influenced everything that came after it, whether it was punk, new wave, all the stoner rock from the 90s, dance music, all the rave, you know, and of course Motorhead. Just, you know, all metal today should worship at the altar of Motorhead, because Motorhead pretty much built that the metal scene up. They just did. I mean, I know Sabbath, you know, and Deep Purple and Zeppelin, but Motorhead, they took metal to where we are today. They just did, you know. He lived a life that we can only dream of. I mean, I've done some crazy shit over the years, but nothing like Lemmy. No, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, Lemmy. Well, just words, whoa, just overwhelmed at them. Just so much to talk about Lemmy. Just so much in my head, you know. And as you've probably, and if you've watched my other videos, you think, fucking, and he talks about Lemmy a lot, because I do talk about, because I just think it's just fucking hell, just one of the one of the greatest, you know. I remember the first time I heard Motorhead was on The Young Ones. If you don't know what The Young Ones are, The Young Ones were British alternative comedy show in the early 80s. Basically, that sort of comedy came from the Comic Store in London. So like, sort of like punk comedians, you know, like Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson, all those, you know, Dawn French, Jennifer Saunders, I think Keith Allen, I think played there as well. So yeah, it was all those, you know, type of comedians, and of course you got the young ones, you know, Rick Mail, Adrian Edmondson, Christopher Ryan, and Nigel Planer. So yeah, the young ones, and they were on the Bambi episode. And when I first heard them, at 6 years old, I went, fucking hell. It was like looking at 3 fucking Martians. It was like, this is fucking awesome. I thought, this is. I think it was the first metal I ever heard. So it can, because I was used to sort of like very soft pop music and dance music. But when I heard that, I was like, it just completely blew my mind out of the stratosphere. It just did. And I thought, wow. But it took about 10 years to actually buy their records. You know, start to really get into them. And all. Of course, I sort of started with the Ace of Spades album, which is fucking hell. I remember when I first got that on CD, I must have played that over and over again on my CD player, just over and over and over again. You know, I mean, you know, we got Ace of Spades is a great track, but it does get a bit. I think it does get too much attention. It's a good track, but it just gets too much attention because you got the hammer. You know, Chase is better than the catch. Oh, great track. Well, I think it's my favourite track on the album. And of course, we had the Road Crew. Just absolutely brilliant. And then of course, I got the Best of Motorhead, and which just unbelievable, just absolutely unbelievable. Overkill, Bomber, Die You Bastard, Don't Need Religion, Iron Fist, just Dead Man Tell No Tales, Damage Case, just incredible, absolutely incredible, high energy, no fucking bullshit rock and roll. And then I got to see him then in Newport Centre in 2009. Oh, fucking hell, still the loudest band I've ever seen. I mean, I have talked about that great level on my favourite gigs video if you want to see that. And of course, Girls' School and the Damned. Just fucking hell. Great support, best supports I've ever to this day for me. And Motorhead just, you know, just fucking incredible. You know, absolutely incredible. You know, we are Motorhead. We make rock and roll, motherfuckers. Yeah, my bad Lemmy impersonation again. Oh, God. This song is dedicated to politicians. Boo! You don't like politicians, neither do I, the fucking thieving bastards. That's what he said for one track. Oh, an Overkill, bloody hell. It was just incredible when he did Overkill. Bloody hell. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant. Every lineup of Motorhead is just, they're all great. You know, of course, you know, the classic lineup with Fast Eddie Clarke and Filthy Animal Taylor, you know, just brilliant. But the last lineup, I sort of unfortunately did ignore for a couple of years, really. I don't know. It was a bit ignorant on my part because I was mainly into the classic lineup, you know. And then of course when I got to see in 2009, I got to appreciate that lineup and try to start to listen to that lineup's songs. And Aftershock, just a brilliant album. I got Aftershock with a magazine. I can't seem to find it anywhere, but it came with like a magazine, which was fascinating facts on Motorhead. And I got this one. I think it's from last year. I think it was. Yeah, it's got some good pictures in here. Some really good pictures. So yeah, and of course I got to appreciate Lemmy more when I started listening to Hawkwind. Just when I first heard Silver Machine, it just blew my fucking mind. I thought this track is from 1972. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. The best way to describe Silver Machine is sort of like scummy acid rave punk track. That's the best way I could describe it. And at first, when I first heard them singing, and I thought, that's Lemmy, because he was singing in a higher register. I thought that's Lemmy. And then he done Sideways Through Time. I went, yeah, that's Lemmy. So yeah, just absolutely brilliant track. Overplayed. It is overplayed, but it was. And then I got the best of Hawkwind. Then just brilliant. And of course, Lemmy's time with Hawkwind is considered. Well, it's considered the most, the best time for Hawkwind, and in many ways it was, because a lot of their albums got into the top 20 easily. They weren't really a singles band. They would release singles, but they would never really get into the charts. But their albums would often reach the top 20. And Lemmy joined Hawkwind in I think it was summer of 71. Summer of 71, because Lemmy, before Hawkwind, he was pretty much cutting his teeth, really. He was, very, very interesting. He was living an interesting life before he joined Hawkwind, really. He went to Anglesey. He went to school on Anglesey. He was the only English kid in that school. So that must have been tough, I tell you. And then of course he got expelled for whacking the headmaster with a cane. Fucking badass. Yeah, and he also lived in North Wales for a while. Around Llandudno area. And he got a few jobs there and stuff. And then of course got into the rock and roll. Lemmy said himself, before rock and roll there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. And then he would hear Radio Luxembourg and go, oh, that's fucking great, I want to do that. And then he joined a couple of bands. He was in a band called the Rockin' Vickers, which they sort of only done covers really of other people's songs. They'd done a version of Dandy by the Kinks, and they weren't super popular. They were quite popular in the north of England. Then he joined, the Sam Gopel band, which I've heard, and it's a very strange band for Lemmy to be in, because it was very sitar based psychedelic rock, which it doesn't seem to sort of fit. I don't know, it just seems a bit of an odd band for him to join. And of course he was a roadie for Jimi Hendrix. I bet that was an experience, because I heard him say he used to score acid for Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, he used to score acid for him. And I think he joined a couple of bands. I think he was in a band with Simon King, the drummer for Hawkwind, and then Dick Mick, who he would play the audio generator in Hawkwind, and he got Lemmy to join Hawkwind along with Simon King and Dick Mick and Lemmy in a band but everyone's dropping acid, and those two are taking speed. It was just, you know, Nick Turner said, the saxophone player at Auckland, he said, Lemmy, you couldn't, it was very hard to get on the same wavelengths with Lemmy. One week he'd be up, and then the next week he'd be in bed all week. just incredible, and of course, you know, absolutely stellar time for Auckland, 72 to 75. You know, they had it all. They had it all. They had, you know, they had a naked dancer, tits the size of a pyramid, two pyramids, dancing away. You had a fucking speed freak wearing iron crosses playing bass. You had a bipolar fucking poet wearing World War One uniforms. You had it all. The Auckland was just, you know, Motley Crue called themselves Motley Crue. Auckland, just they were a Motley Crue. You know, they frightened the establishment. They really did. You know, in many ways their attitude was more punk than hippie. Because Lemmy said, we weren't cute men. We used to lock all the doors so nobody could get out. You know, just, you know, they were fucking, they were dangerous. Absolutely they were. You know, they were the Sex Pistols before the Sex Pistols. They really were, you know. They really were. So yeah, White Line Fever is a great autobiography by Lemmy, and does just covers some great stories about Auckland. The one particular story with Dick Mick and his audio generator, he would turn it up so loud, people would either be sick or they'd shit their pants. Just incredible, just absolutely incredible. And of course, Silver Machine got to the top 5 in July 1972 with Lemmy on vocals, because originally it was Bob Calvert on vocals, but his vocals were out of tune, so they were like, oh, look how we got to get on this tune. So every member of the band tried to sing Silver Machine, and then it was like, and here's Lemmy going speed freaking. It's like, should we ask him? Should we ask the new guy? Should we ask the new guy? I'll do it. And it took him about 2 or 3 takes, and a hit song is born. And for a while, from 72 to 73, Auckland, they were pretty big. For a while they were big, because all the money from Silver Machine went into the Space Ritual tour and Space Ritual album. Oh, Lemmy's bass playing on that. His bass playing on Orgone Accumulator, Lord of Light and Master of the Universe is just incredible. Best version of Master of the Universe. Every time I put that on, I gotta run around the room and just rip all my clothes off and just dance bollock naked. I just do. It's just that energy. The energy from that song is incredible. You know, and of course, Lemmy he only wrote 3 songs in his time in Auckland. He wrote The Watcher, Lost Johnny with Mick Farren, and Motorhead. Of course, Motorhead. So yeah, he was in the band for 4 years. And then of course he got sacked. Basically, they were all Auckland were on tour in Canada, touring all these songs. Warrior of the Edge of Time, which is the last album to feature Lemmy. It was a great album, but he didn't particularly like that album. He said, fucking Drum Empire! You know, he didn't particularly like Alan Powell, the additional drummer. He didn't particularly like him at all. So yeah, Lemmy got busted in Canada for amphetamine sulfate because they thought it was cocaine. They thought it was a stronger drug, so he was in jail, and then they eventually got him out. He done the gig, and then the next morning he was sacked by Nick Turner or Dave Brock, whichever fucking story you want to believe, and that was it. You know, but and of course Lemmy, being the badass that he is, took all the equipment and shagged all their girlfriends. And one interviewer said, "Oh, did you really do that?" "I didn't fuck the ugly ones." God. Yeah. And then of course, Motorhead. Yes, good old Motorhead. And original members, it was Lucas Fox and Larry Wallace out of the Pink Fairies. They were sort of like the original lineup, and they did do recordings, I think in 75 or 6, in Rockfield Studios in South Wales. Or I think might have been with Dave Edmunds producing, and he got released years later as On Parole. I do have that. I bought that from a charity shop in Salisbury, but unfortunately the condition pretty shitty, to be honest. You know, it's very scratched. You know, it looks like a vampire has put his fangs into it. It's just ugh, you know. But it's a worthwhile piece of vinyl, piece of history, because it was their first recordings. And of course that lineup didn't work out, and then you had, of course, Eddie Clarke and Phil Taylor. You know, they basically built that metal scene. They built it. They completely built it. You know, the new wave of British heavy metal, and then the subculture of the metalhead began to bubble. Leather jackets, denim, long hair, band t-shirt. It comes from all that, because before that, it just wasn't that. You know, that scene, very important scene to metal, incredible. And Motorhead, basically, they just completely helped build it. And modern metal is just, you know, they should all bow down to Motorhead. They should, you know. So yeah, British, and for me, the new wave of British heavy metal is the best time for metal. I know, I'm biased. I'm British, I'm biased. Well, I'm Welsh. You know, I'm biased. You know, because some great fucking bands in that scene. You know, Girls' School, Tank, Savage, Venom, Diamond Head, Iron Maiden. Just incredible. Incredible. And this single with Motorhead and Girls' School, well, EP, just brilliant. Because Lemmy was a big fan of Girls' School, and he championed them a lot. Because I remember one story that Lemmy told, where and I think he was because I think they toured together. I can't remember what, but they did tour together. And this one man was Wolf Whistling, the singer. Wolf Whistling, and Lemmy was like, he looked at the guy. He went, she's more badass than you, motherfucker. And I think the singer was like, oh, take your fucking trousers down, could all do a bit of laugh. You know, there's just that, you know, just, you know, there's no need of that for that guy to do that, really. Wolf Whistling, you know, because you get your fucking ass. You would have got your. I would have kicked his fucking. If I had been the female, I would have kicked his fucking ass. Would have whacked him across the head with the fucking bass guitar. That's what I would have done. So yeah, Girls' School, Motorhead, just just brilliant. And 81 was the year of Motorhead. Just this album got to number one. Got to number one in June of 80. I think it was June and July of 81. And it's a great live album. You know, Metropolis, Capricorn, We Are the Road Crew. Oh, it's just great live. The energy. You know, like I said, every line of Motorhead they put. It's no bullshit with them. It's just fucking raw. Fucking you can just feel the fucking sweat pouring off them. You know, just I mean, in 50 years' time, who the fuck am I gonna see live? You know, the fucking Justin Bieber retirement tour. Who the fuck is Justin Bieber? Who the fuck wants to see him now? And fucking Taylor Swift and all this fucking auto-tune shit. Oh my god, he drives me fucking up the wall, it does. You know, it just, makes you want to fucking throw up in my mouth. You know, just fucking brilliant album. And of course, 1916, which I bought from a charity shop a couple of months ago. And 1916, stylistically, the song is complete change for Motorhead. Just incredibly, obviously it's about, you know, the First World War. And it's just, you listen to it, it is incredibly sad, but really powerful. It is a powerful song. And a couple of months ago, I went to the Brecon War Museum, which is like, it shows like all uniforms from the Zulu War and the First World War and the Second World War and the Cold War. And there was a particular video they were showing on the First World War, and they were playing the song 1916. Because I recognised it straight away. I had to sit down. I had to sit down and stop what I was doing and sit down and I started listening to it. And it was like, you know, it did make me feel very, almost teary-eyed. It did. It was like, just an incredible song. It is. Just, really is. Really, really is. And also got I think this is recorded in, is it Germany? I think it's Germany. Clean Your Clock. And it's good, the energy's there, but his voice, unfortunately, it's not the best really, because it's, you know, pretty, because I remember seeing him on the Glastonbury 2015, and I thought he don't look well. You could see it, he just didn't look well at all. And I was like, I hope he gets better. You know, and then Phil Taylor went, and then that was fucking shit. I was like, fucking ugh. And then when Lemmy went, just apart from Rick Mail, probably his death affected me. Out of all the stars that I've liked and that are sadly no longer with us, his death affected me really, really, really bad. He just did. You know, it was. I remember down my friend's house. I felt really, 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 really numb. Just felt bad. And then I went home, just crying. and then put some Motorhead on, and then put some just blast Hawkwind, and I had a... Now this is gonna... Well, I'm gonna tell it anyway, whether it's fucking crazy or not, but I had a very, very, very strange experience on the day Lemmy died. So I got home, like I said, I got home, sat down by my computer, started playing some Motorhead, started playing some Hawkwind, started playing Master of the Universe, the Space Ritual version, and I started to fall asleep, and then I could feel like a sort of sharp pain in my chest, like somebody was stabbing me and like touching me in the chest, going literally like that. I thought, what the fuck? So I started falling asleep again, and it happened again. And it happened about 3 or 4 or 5 times. And then I looked at the computer screen, and then there was a picture of Lemmy on there. And I was like, and then a few seconds later, it disappeared. And I'm like, am I fucking dreaming? What? And so I stopped the video, and I rewind the video to that particular point I got to, because I thought maybe the fan had put Lemmy in there as a tribute, as a picture, and there was no picture. So I thought, am I hallucinating? Or it is weird. It was, and a couple of days later, I was in Marks and Spencer's, and there was a newspaper article that caught my eye, because newspapers normally I could give 2 shits about, because it's all fucking bad, fucking negative shit in there all the time. And I looked at the cover, and it was Lemmy, and it had on there, if I could come back as a ghost, I would. Just fucking bizarre. Just, what I thought, did I dream that? Because I was wide awake. I mean, I know I was asleep, but I was wide awake, and I could see the picture. I thought, but who knows? Might have been hallucinating. Who fucking knows? I don't know. It's just fucking bizarre, because I've seen ghosts. I've seen a ghost years and years and years and years ago. In my old house, I seen a ghost floating above the bed with all colours around it, and I couldn't sleep without the light on for years after that. I mean, I have trouble now sleeping in the dark. I do. I just don't like sleeping in the dark. And I've been to certain places, like was it Worcester Cathedral, the crypt. I could feel something in there. It was like in Oxford Castle. I think was it the wine cellar. I could feel something in there. I don't know. I have this. I don't know. I seem to be set. I don't know. Just I seem to have just weird. Absolutely weird, isn't it? So yeah. In closing, Lemmy, just just one of the, I think he was the last rock and roll outlaw. He just was, If I joined a rock and roll band, I would inspire to be like Lemmy, not so much the speed or the fucking drugs, but just that fucking take it all. With Lemmy, it was a take it or leave it attitude. You didn't give a fuck. That sort of attitude. I mean, I got that attitude anyway. having bipolar, I could give two fucks. You know, I've heard it all. I'm not easily offended, and you know, I'm not easily offended, and I just don't give a fuck. It's like with me, you either like me or you don't. That's my motto. If you like me, great. If you don't like me, great. Whatever. So yeah, Lemmy. I can't believe it's nearly 2 years since he's gone. Just. But your legacy lives on. It really does. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.